All right, just after 2:30 here on a Monday at Casino Arizona. All right, Fouhy, you ready to go? We got a lot to get into, buddy. Busy weekend.
What? I'll tell you what an exciting weekend, huh?
Oh, my goodness. Well, let's kind of go backwards. We'll start with today and then go backwards,
Okay.
all right? So let's start with
let's start with today.
All right, Ray Anderson out at ASU. Was it needed and will now
Oh, really?
And will it trigger alumni and boosters to contribute to the NIL and collective? Fact or Fouhy? Will this happen?
Yeah. Fouhy on that. Listen, I've said this for decades now. I think the sleeping giant phrase has been overused for decades here, right?
Mm-hmm.
ASU's a sleeping giant. ASU's a sleeping giant. I mean, how many times have we heard that over the years? It's not. It's just asleep. It's Rip Van Winkle. It ain't waking up, right? And it doesn't matter what happens because the alumni here don't really care much about a 6-6 season or a 7-5 season or a 5-7 season. They don't care. So they're happy with going to the Sun Bowl, the Las Vegas Bowl, and maybe occasionally making it to
El Paso.
Holiday Bowl,
Sun
right?
Bowl.
I mean, yeah, let's go to
El Paso.
To the Sun Bowl.
El
That'd be an
Paseo.
exciting trip. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm just tired of hearing this, and I don't think it's going to. We heard Kenny talk today about we really need to jump on the NIL. We got about a month before we start recruiting. We got to get this going. It just isn't going to happen. The AS should be better off joining the WAC and moving into a program where you don't have to pay coaches, you don't have to pay big money to do anything, and not try to compete with the big boys because they just can't. Right? It's just not going to happen here.
And now I would say that now the deck has been cleared for a lot of the alumni boosters. Put your money, put your pocketbook where your mouth is to move this forward if they're serious about moving it forward. Or otherwise, to your point, Coach Fouhy, just trim Rip Van Winkle's beard once in a while so it doesn't get in the way of all the rats coming around him.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's the deal. And until the alums, and I don't know who they are, right? I don't know the big money alums. I don't know the small money alums. It's just somebody has to get involved in this and say, look, I'm involved now in the search for the successor for Ray Anderson. I'm going to help you guys. And in response to that, let me help you guys find the right person. I'm going to give you this much money, right? And I got 3 or 4 other guys that are going to give you this much money, and we're going to do this right. But until people do that and step up and say, I'm tired of 6-6 seasons, it ain't going to change here.
And, I think it keeps going back, I go back to Steve Patterson. I thought that was a great hire at the time. And I think that was going to be the change. But we've had this discussion already for the last couple hours. I'm on the same page you are. I mean, I've been here 30 years, and, the sleeping giant, you've been here just as long, and nothing has changed. It's just not a football school. No. Minuch seems to think it's a football school because they had success under Cush. Right, Cush in the 70s when they were in the WAC.
No. They had success with Cooper. They had Snyder.
Okay, when you say 1 year, does 1 year mean it's success?
Well, I think that from my standpoint, growing up here, is they've had success at times. They haven't had consistent success to keep them in the top 2 or top 1 tiers, like the top 10, top 15. That's my frustration as a Sun Devil fan, guys, is that why can't they sustain that when they get there? Then it's like 5 steps forward, 10 steps back. That's a frustration for a growing up a Sun Devil fan. At least for me, it is.
Let me settle this for you guys. When you talk about the blue bloods of college football, is ASU ever mentioned?
Never.
No. I'll admit that. I can admit that.
Yeah. Right?
Even when they were in the border conference.
Yeah. Hey, I would never.
Exactly.
I'd never thought my alma mater, K-State, would have gone way beyond ASU as far as football is concerned. Consider where we came from some 30, 40 years ago. We were literally they were looking to get rid of us out of Division I football back in the late 80s, somewhere in there.
Yeah, but you got a coach that came in there and just turned that thing around and kept it rolling.
And AD.
And the problem with
and president.
The problem with ASU, that Lisa Love told me this years and years and years ago when she hired Todd Graham. She goes, the tail will never wag the dog here at Arizona State. And that's all you needed to know, right? That's all I needed to hear. It's like, okay, then we're going to be mediocre. We're going to go to the Sun Bowl. Let's go to Bowl. So that ain't going to happen again. I mean, it's just, I wish Kenny Dillingham nothing but the best. I hope the guy succeeds beyond measure. But he's working with limited resources in NIL. We're not going to compete in NIL. We're not going to compete in booster money, right? It's just not going to happen here until people step up and say enough is enough.
And it's still unfortunate to the small fan base that there is, because there is a small fan base here. It's not
There
large.
is a fan base.
Yeah, it's a fan
It's
base.
small because if they don't go to homecoming, I mean, that's how you know if the football program is worth it. You know what? They go to a 5 o'clock game on a Saturday in October in this town. If you can't sell that game out, that's a problem.
And it's tough, guys, to bring a knife to a gunfight each and every week. As you mentioned, Coach, limited resources. All right, Coach, let's move on. Question number 2, Kyler Murray's scrambling and running ability and passing ability was the key reason for the Cardinals' win over Hot Atlanta yesterday. The scrambling.
They weren't hot.
Hot Atlanta. Yeah, they were
Atlanta's
kind
not
of
hot.
Yeah, they're really not that good. But anyways,
4-6.
yeah,
they're hot.
Hey, listen. I'm just going to say Kyler Murray. Just stop right there. You don't need to say scramble or do anything else. Just Kyler Murray. That was the difference. The guy didn't look like he'd been hurt at all. He came back out, no knee brace, was running all over the place. That last scramble he had on that game-winning drive, where it looked like he was sacked and he had no chance, and then to pick up whatever many yards he got and get the first down was just incredible. But just seeing him out there, his leadership, there was a little rust, right? He had a delay of game penalty. They had a false start out there. But listen, his ability just to get out there on the field,
3 minutes,
his team, unbelievable. And when he made that tackle on the interception, that clearly wasn't his fault, that spoke volumes to the team on the sidelines.
I'm with you on that one. Okay, number 3, Coach, tight end. McBride has 8 catches, 131 yards receiving. Will he continue to be a main factor? The offense success continues to move forward.
Absolutely. That's a fact. Listen, Trey McBride was solid, man. And he's had like 3 or 4 good games now, right? And so now he's got Kyler. He's trying to learn the offense with Kyler and trying to figure out how things. None of these receivers have had much time with Kyler yet, but in terms of what Trey McBride is doing, and looks like it was a pretty good draft pick a couple of years ago. So I think he's going to continue to be success. Zach Ertz is still out, and Trey McBride's stepping up big time. So I'm thrilled for him.
All right, I'm going to do an audible here because the 4th question is James Conner any good? Yeah, we know that he's all right.
Question.
It really is.
No, it's not.
You basically say if he's healthy, are they going to have success?
He has to be
course.
the main part of the
well,
offense.
He is the main part of the offense. So we're moving on. Suns now 4-6 overall, 1-4 at home. Need to cut down on turnovers and find the perimeter defense moving forward. Factor Philly.
1-4 at home, Coach.
My God. Listen, how about just finding a 4th quarter, for God's sake?
Yeah.
They scored 13 points last night in the 4th. That's like their 4th game this year that they've gone into the 4th quarter with a lead and lost the game. This is unacceptable, right? I mean, who is this team right now, right? The Phoenix Suns are who? I mean, it's Kevin Durant and stepping up and trying to shoulder the load for the team, and then maybe Bradley Beal kind of coming along the way with Grayson Allen.
1 minute.
You know, I mean, there were so many missed shots the other night against the Lakers, and then last night it was just like, what is this team all about right now? I have no idea what their identity is. Just none.
Fouhy, have yourself a great Monday. Thanks for improving the program as you do each and every week. Thank you.
Love it. See you guys.
You guys, Craig Fouhy, ABC 15. Check him out tonight, 4, 5, and 10, ABC 15 Sports Director. Hey, you want to win a big screen to watch Fouhy? Well, we're giving away 5 of them. Text PEAKS to 59925. That's PEAKS to 59925. Man, it's the standard message and data rates do apply. Make sure you watch all the games at any of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks locations. We're there every Thursday from 1 to 4 this week. We'll be at the new Deer Valley location. Great drink specials thanks to Blue Moon and Coors Light. Coming up, Casey from the CAZ Sportsbook.